happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now, you guys can probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to see this one. So we got that CNN host Scott Jennings showing us once again why he's a true rock star as he unleashes, absolutely silencing the entire panel of lying Democrats on CNN, guys. And I'm excited to get into it, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Democrats are not happy with their own party. I mean, they're looking for somebody to do something. And this is a tool that has been used by Democrats and Republicans to make a point, to shut down the Senate essentially and make a point and say, we think that this is a serious moment.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have a lot of respect for Senator Booker. I'm a fan of his personally. And I think hopefully this is part of a broader strategy to raise sort of collective voices about what's happening in the country right now. I worry that a single speech on the floor of the Senate, while there's no legislation that's really at stake here, as the kids say, I'm not sure that's it.
I'm not sure you're alone in that. I mean, floor speech on the Senate is not exactly.
I mean, look, I would love to see him wipe Strom Thurmond off the record books and go 24 hours and 19 minutes. But even that, I'm not sure that's enough. And I worry that it's indicative of the fact that the Democrats don't really understand what they're up against here. You know, when you're facing a team that is gang pressing you all over the field and you decide to hold the ball for a bit, that's typically not going to win you the game.
So what do you think is the answer? What is closer to the answer?
I wish I had the answer, and if I did, I'd probably be speaking about it a lot more vocally. I think that it's a multi-front war that we're fighting on behalf of the American people. I think we need to be at town halls. We need to be speaking to the American people, and I think we need a cogent identity and point of view about how we will better serve the American people than what the Trump administration is currently doing. And I don't know that we've communicated that as effectively as we need to.
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean,
you would think that it would be self-evident on some level.
But the town hall stuff has happened, right? I mean, and there is something happening out there where at least, you know, I know, Scott, you believe that these are all AstroTurf, but even if you believe they're AstroTurf.
No, I don't believe that.
You've said that before.
I don't think they're all AstroTurf. Some are, but I think they're all. I think they're basically Democrats.
It's representative of some kind of anger, wouldn't you say?
I definitely think it's representative of anger in the Democratic base. There's no question about that. And I think Booker's moves tonight are representative of the fact that there's a vacuum at the top of the Democratic Party. There's no leader. The only leader that really exists is Jasmine Crockett. She's the one you see on TV most often. Booker's trying to, fill some of that vacuum. I'm puzzled by his language, though. What is the crisis? You have a president of the United States that won the national popular vote and a landslide in the Electoral College. He is sitting, according to CBS News as of yesterday, at a 50% approval rating. What is the crisis? I mean, he's effectively executing on the policy agenda that he ran on, and he's sitting at about 50%, which is far higher than the last president. If this is a crisis, what was the Joe Biden term? A mega crisis? I don't know.
I think the crisis is that we're seeing people deported without due process. We're seeing the very fundamental aspects of our democracy.
They need to get me, and I want them to lead at that point and stop trying to die on that hill, talking about these folks, these illegal gang members are not getting due process. They're coming across our border illegally. You're telling me you walk into someone else's country, you automatically become a citizen and you have rights, constitutional rights somehow? No, that is not the case. We didn't see due process when Joe Biden went willy-nilly unsealing our southern borders, did we? There was no due process there, so leave us alone about the due process. Oh my. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting heated. It's actually hot in here.
Deported without due process. We're seeing the very fundamental aspects of our democracy at question. That's what people are scared about. And so they want to see. I think the one thing you and I can agree on, Scott, right now is the Democrats aren't doing what they need to do. Can we agree on that?
Well, I don't know.
I think we can all agree on that.
Let me put it this way.
You raise a good question because I think, and look, my party's gone through this. You lose, and then everybody wants you to do something, right? What are we going to do? Sometimes there's not much to do until you get to the next election. That's the next great opportunity.
Come on now.
That's where we disagree, because I think people are looking to their leaders in a time of fear, in a time of crisis that so many Americans right now are feeling. And so when they look,
a time of fear in a time of crisis, I really want to I try my hardest to see through the lens of these lunatics on the left, but I just can't. They've went so far left that you really can't even see how they're rationally believing we're in a state of crisis right now. I mean, our southern border has been almost completely sealed up. No illegal border crossings. Right now, we're working, to ship all the folks back that have made it into the interior of our country. Inflation is going down. Crime is going down. I'm not sure how there is some sort of crisis. You guys really think that Donald Trump is that much of a threat to democracy? You've lost it. You have.
Next great opportunity.
See, that's where we disagree, because I think people are looking to their leaders in a time of fear, in a time of crisis that so many Americans right now are feeling. And so when they look at D.C. and they see people, what they perceive to be rolling over, they get even more scared. So look, what Senator Booker's doing in a vacuum going to solve everything? No, but it's a start. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of more acts like this from our elected officials to show that we have that fight in us, that we're not going to roll over for the democracy we believe in.
I also think that, to your point, Scott, your point is that maybe you shouldn't do anything, but that's actually not what Republicans have done in the past. I mean, they had a whole Tea Party movement that was that same kind of anger, basically saying to their base, get up and do something, and that powered the moment that we are in right now.
I think the crisis that he's talking about is their 28%, 27% approval rating within the Democrat Party. And Scott is right, is that nature abhors the vacuum, and he's looking at this as an opportunity. But the problem is, this is the epitome of what's wrong with politics. You go on the Senate floor, you're grandstanding to the 10 people watching C-SPAN, with all due respect to C-SPAN, all night long. Like, there are major elections tomorrow. You have Wisconsin, you have 2 Florida elections. Go on the campaign trail, get involved, get into the communities, like grassroots organize. That's what the Democrat Party used to be so good at.
We want that. No, we need them to continue doing exactly what they're doing, guys, because if they continue on the road they're on right now, they won't win for quite some time. They just keep being a constant reminder to folks who voted for Donald Trump that you made the right decision. You made the right choice voting for true leadership, because on the other hand, they can't even figure out who their true leader is. Jasmine Crockett? AOC? Oh my God. Hopefully it is Jasmine Crockett, AOC. Tag team it up together, trying to run on the next ticket, because this is going to be a funny show to watch. What?
Now it's become the party of the elites and no longer of the people.
I think that that's frankly absurd. And I also think that there's probably a fair amount of grassroots organizing happening both in Florida and Wisconsin. I think that the crisis that Senator Booker is referring to probably has something to do with the fact that we have the world's richest man offering $1 million to people who sign a petition who say that they want to see activist judges removed from the court. I think the crisis that Senator Booker is talking about is a president who, take him however seriously you want to, says that he would entertain the idea and has explored the possibility of a third term. I think the crisis that we're talking about is just a violation up and down the...
I told you guys yesterday they were going to fall right into the Donald Trump, Elon Musk's hands on these traps. This whole outrage, this is fake outrage at this point. Elon Musk, what he's doing, he knew what he was going to bring attention to the cause, get folks out there to actually understand how, or the severity of the nature of the Supreme Court voting. Oh my goodness. And then as for Donald Trump with this third term thing, he's been trolling them with that, and they're falling right into the trap once again. When will they learn? They just won't. They're talking about all the things, all the wrong things, and it's not resonating with their party.
Both laws and norms that we have all, frankly, taken for granted.
So Booker is not the only person talking about a crisis. I mean, you brought up Wisconsin. Here's Elon Musk in Wisconsin basically saying that this election could mean the end of Western civilization.
Whichever party controls the House, it to a significant degree controls the country, which then steers the course of Western civilization. So it's like, I feel like this is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
And that seems a little hyperbolic to me.
Well, I don't agree, but I do think he was addressing.
You don't agree with Musk, or?
No, I don't agree that it's hyperbolic. I think the future of Western civilization is very much in the balance right now, and I think it's one of the reasons the American people.
Because of the Wisconsin.
No, because of what we've been. You gotta think about all the widespread censorship, the way that the Dems have been coming after folks. You've seen what happened during the Biden administration. You couldn't, especially you could barely say anything otherwise or to contradict Kamala, her campaign, or Biden. I'm saying it whisperingly because they were coming after us, guys, and I think they still are. It's nuts.
You don't agree with Musk, or?
No, I don't agree that it's hyperbolic. I think the future of Western civilization is very much in the balance right now, and I think it's one of the reasons the American people.
Because of the Wisconsin State Supreme Court.
I think all elections right now are vital, and he was appealing to, and and he knows the issues with the Republicans right now. We've gathered all these people into the party who are low propensity voters. They vote in presidential. They vote when Trump's on the ballot. Sometimes they vote when Trump's on the ballot and leave everything else blank. And he's trying to rally them to understand that all elections have consequences, whether you're in Florida or Wisconsin or you're voting for President of the United States. I think that message is a vital message, and it's one of the reasons I think Trump won.
I want to understand it, though. What is the end of Western civilization? Explain that.
I mean, it is the future of Western civilization all over this world is in the balance right now. When you look at what's going on in Europe, they're throwing political opposition in jail. Free speech is under assault everywhere you turn. I mean, everything that we have built in this country, the tenets of Western civilization, the fundamental values that the country has been built on, Republicans and conservatives believe are under assault. The November election was the beginning of the pushback on that assault, but it's not over.
You mentioned, but you mentioned free speech, which we already know that people are being deported on the basis of not being able to have certain types of speech that this administration doesn't like. I mean, those are things that are happening right now in this country. You're talking about Europe, but that's happening here.
Yeah, well, I would remind you that over the course of the last several years, the left in this country has undertaken a massive effort to suppress the speech of conservatives. And to this day, the message from the left is,
I think
if you don't say what we like, we will engage in violent acts against you.
Okay, I'll let you and Dan
up.
in a second, but let's just concede. I'll concede.
She said, I'll give you that one. And that is the point that I've been trying to make, you guys. I'm telling you right now, we have been under attack as far as our free speech. Certain things I can't even say. I try to get up here and just show you the news and they come after me, guys. It's so sad to see that these folks on the left, they don't realize how dangerous this truly can be. Like, you can't even get out there and tell the truth anymore. Like, what? Come on now. You got to support your boy Retro because I'm under attack. I don't understand what's happening.
Maybe the left went overboard on speech, but you also have an administration literally searching code words and canceling grants based on words that are being used, that are trying to stop news organizations from covering the president because they don't want to use certain words that this administration prefers. So you have to be kind of fair about when speech is being punished on both sides, not just when it offends.
Speech is being punished. If you're sitting inside that White House, especially in that press briefing room or in the Oval Office, and you're getting to be a part of the press gaggle, guess what? If there's rules and procedures in place, you have to abide by them. Your free speech does not allow you to go against the rules that's set in place. This Rachel Scott, what's her name? Rachel Scott. She is just so bad with that, comparing apples to oranges. We're truly seeing that our free speech is under attack by these folks on the left. It's just getting that bad. Even the social media platforms. Hopefully Elon buys YouTube here soon because it's just getting that bad for conservatives.
About when speech is being punished on both sides, not just when it offends your political affiliation. But Dan,
look, I think that's precisely right. The reality is, if we as the United States want to perceive ourselves to be the beacon of what Western civilization should be, I think there's a lot of reason to be very afraid of what we're seeing right now. When we talked about the deportations, we talk about the lack of the respect of co-equal branches of government. People feel this, that it scares them, and when they see things like the whole Signal Gate last week and no one has faced a single consequence. You want to talk about people checking out? People have checked out because they say this is a president who doesn't hinder any consequences on his people when they make a mistake.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Talk about folks checking out. Folks are checked out of the Democratic Party, or checking out constantly because of this nonstop fear mongering that we just heard. Talking about folks are scared. People should be scared. That's all you hear from these folks on the left, rather than embracing the fact that we've got true leadership at the helm now. Donald Trump, his administration, has done nothing more than what they've campaigned on, they ran on, and got elected in almost in a landslide on. When will these Dems learn? Scott Jennings is not the one. And when I say not the one, he is not the one to be messed around with. He's going to keep it real no matter what, even if it hurts your feelings. Scott Jennings is not tiptoeing, dancing, or beating around the bush. He's getting directly to the point. I love that about him, and I enjoy it. This is probably the only part of CNN that I enjoy, guys, but definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. The comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.